Inside your mind, there's a miniature factory. Tiny workers tirelessly organize your beliefs, your memories, and your decisions. On most days, the machines run smoothly, and each belief fits neatly into its designated place. But what happens when they don't? Sometimes, two beliefs collide. Two thoughts that feel like they shouldn't exist together. Yet they do. And when that happens, the entire miniature factory begins to shake. The workers start to panic. Lights flicker on and off. Sirens echo through the tiny halls. This is the feeling of cognitive dissonance, a deep mental discomfort you experience when your mind is holding two conflicting truths at the very same time. Imagine this. One worker holds up a sign that proudly says, "I want to be healthy." But right next to them, another worker holds a different sign. One that says, "I keep doing things that hurt my body." One side of your mind declares, "I deserve respect." But another side whispers, "I stay in situations where I'm not respected." One part of you believes, "I'm a good person," while another part quietly hands over a memory that seems to contradict it. These opposing beliefs create a storm inside that little factory. The workers run frantically from room to room, desperately trying to make both sides make sense. They start to rewrite memories, dim the lights on uncomfortable emotions, bend the truth just a little, or even create elaborate excuses. They aren't doing this to deceive you. They're trying to protect you. Because the mind, in its quest for stability, would rather distort reality than face a truth that threatens its very identity. So, how does cognitive dissonance show up in our daily lives? You might recognize it when you find yourself justifying someone else's hurtful behavior because admitting the truth would be just too painful. Or when you convince yourself that you're okay, even when deep down you know you're not. It's that feeling of staying in a familiar situation, like a job or a relationship, even when you know it's harming you. It's also when you cling tightly to a belief, even when new, compelling evidence proves it wrong. Back in your miniature world, the workers are holding on to the old blueprint for dear life. They're afraid of what might happen if they finally admit the truth. They're asking themselves, what if everything changes? What if we were wrong all along? What if the new belief hurts even more than the old one? But here's the most important part. When you finally muster the courage to face the conflict head-on, something incredible happens. The shaking stops. The lights stabilize. The frantic workers gather around a new blueprint, one that is honest, clear, and perfectly aligned with the person you are becoming. Cognitive dissonance is not a sign of weakness. It's actually the moment right before a major inner transformation. Think of it as a psychological growing pain. It's a signal that something needs to change for you to grow. Inside your miniature factory, the workers slowly begin to replace the old, worn-out signs. They repair the machines and update the entire system. And for the first time in a long time, your inner world starts to feel consistent and whole. Not because you ignored the truth, but because you chose it. Cognitive dissonance is simply the storm that comes before the self becomes whole. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content about understanding ourselves better. See you in the next one.